Welcome to Generation Retirement. Today, I'm with Elisa Salinas, a life insurance agent, and we're going to be discussing how life insurance ties into your retirement. Elisa,
Hi.
thank you for being a part of our conversation today.
Of course.
So, as I've been told, you are a insurance agent, a life insurance agent. Is that correct?
Yes.
How did you get into that line of work?
Originally, my husband, he lost his job, and so I had to find something. But a little bit before that, his father passed away, and he pretty much didn't set anything up for anyone. So when he passed away, not only were we having to deal with his loss, losing him, but also the financial burdens. So funeral costs and the fact that he was also partially the breadwinner. So his mom and his dad. So half of their income was gone, and his mom was not in a really good state after that, and she couldn't work. So she just started to really go downhill, and she lost everything because they had no preparation. And GoFundMe pages can only do so much. So GoFundMe is not a retirement plan. That really kind of like started the conversation for me. You know, we needed to get life insurance, and we need to make sure that our ducks are in a row. Shortly after that, I was on Indeed looking for a job, and I was like, hey, why not? And I realized I had to take a test and do all the 9, and I passed, and I was shocked because I'm not one for test taking. I passed with flying colors, and I started my journey, and I just thought, wow, I'm really going to make a huge impact on someone's life, whether it be one person or two people or just my immediate family and friends. But I'm going to, make a difference in their lives, because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. We're all going to pass. We're all going to go through that. But you can be on two sides. You could be the person who's prepared or the person who's unprepared. And I have seen both sides, and I want to help everybody get prepared. So that's how I got into it.
Well, thank you for sharing that story, and I apologize for your loss.
Thank you.
So in regards to what you currently do, what's your favorite part about it?
Ooh, so many good parts. I like when I meet someone and they don't know anything about it. I like giving them that information, but also I like their reaction. I like seeing their face when they find out that, oh, wow, this has been here all along and I can be a part of it. Oh, wow, I can actually find comfort in the protection that you offer. And that part is the best part for me. So,
Absolutely. It sounds incredibly rewarding.
yeah, definitely.
Now, how does life insurance sort of play into someone's retirement?
So life insurance is actually what it is life insurance. It's insuring your life, but also insuring the life that you're living. So it's a little bit of both. You don't have to use it just for the death benefits. You can use it in so many different ways. And the fact that you can use it in a tax-free way is beneficial for a lot of different people. And I think the misconception is that it's expensive, and it's really not. I mean, most of the time it's free. You sit down, you end up finding that you can save for the rest of your life, and then your family's protected after that. So you get double benefits, like a double whammy. Why wouldn't you do it?
Absolutely. It sounds like it's not just security, but a tax strategy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Now, if someone would like to reach out to you, would it be okay with you if we shared your contact information?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, it's free. Give me a call anytime. Anybody, give me a call. It's totally free, and we can go through strategies, and we can figure out what you have. And even if you don't purchase anything off of me, which is totally fine, at least you have a foundation and you know what to expect moving forward. That's all I'm in it for. I want everybody to be prepared, because that's everything. That's what we have in common, right? That we're all going to die. We're all going to get to the point where we're going to be old and frail and pass away. Why don't we get prepared for that?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
You will find Elisa's contact information below. Now, I am curious, in your opinion, who actually needs life insurance?
Everyone. I think everyone should have life insurance, and that includes kids. I think that grandparents, if you're a grandparent, your gift for your grandkids should be life insurance. It should be a policy, because you never know what's going to happen. And when that does happen, it's an unfortunate event, but when it does happen, again, you can be one of two people. You can be the prepared or the unprepared. And having to deal with loss, in addition to the financial burdens of funeral costs, of anything that comes along with it, why would you want to deal with both? That's a tragedy in and of itself, to have to deal with a loss and the financial burdens that come with it. So I think everybody should have life insurance. You're never too young to have it. You can purchase a life insurance policy with the thought that I'm going to get pregnant one day and, start it all then. And yeah, everyone.
I'm definitely hearing the common theme where protecting not only yourself, but the lives of your children is important. And it's something that it sounds like everyone should be doing.
Yeah. I mean, let me put it to you this way. So you purchase a life insurance policy. In that policy, you can benefit while you're living. And then when you pass away, your child gets a benefit. Then, if you purchased life insurance on your child, well, that means your grandchildren get that benefit. So why would you not insure generations as opposed to just yourself? Now you're insuring generations. You purchase it on yourself, then on your children. And at the end of the day, you've just insured like 3 generations. Why not?
What's typically happening in someone's life when they reach out to you?
I have a couple people who have reached out to me who are just starting off. So, new couples who are thinking about their future and about purchasing a house and how their life is going to look later on. I've had people who are thinking about retiring and the death benefit who actually didn't know that policies have the cash value in addition to the death benefit. So, when I talk to them about that, they're actually surprised that they could work with money right now that they're alive, and then in addition to that, having money when they pass. But I work with people who are going to retire, who are just starting out, who are having kids, setting up policies for their kids' futures, with all types of people. People who have ITIN numbers also can get policies. They have access to policies. I work with people who have ITIN numbers and get them situated in a lot of situations where the father is the primary breadwinner, and if he passes away, what happens? Those are the type of people that I've been working with lately.
And what does that number refer to?
So people who are undocumented, who have come here but cannot obtain a social security number, they can get what's called an ITIN number, and that it functions similarly to a social security number, but in just a different way.
Looking back to the people that you've helped, what are you seeing mistakes that are being made?
Most of the time, the people that I come into contact with are financially illiterate. They do not have any knowledge of, one, their finances, two, their retirement, and three, what exists to benefit them. So a lot of the mistakes that people make are staying in the olden days, when things were so much simpler, when 401ks came out and when things of that nature came out, they stay in that realm and they don't want to move away from that because that's security. So anything else outside of that realm is taking a risk. And essentially, this is not taking a risk. You're taking the risk when you're not insuring yourself, when you're not insuring your family. That's the risk. And I think that's the misconception, is that we're taking a risk by buying life insurance, but you're taking a risk by not buying it. I think that's where people go wrong.
You don't know you need it until
It's too
you
late.
need it and you don't have
Yeah.
it. I could certainly see that being a real common theme.
Yeah. It's too late by the time you know you need it.
Now, I am curious, as a life insurance agent, do you work closely with other financial advisors, other people in the financial sector?
Oh, absolutely. We have a whole team. We have a whole team of people who work together. I have meetings all the time with my team members when I don't know something, or, because I'm still a little relatively new. So when I need help, I have a team of people who I work with to help out.
That's wonderful. So it sounds as though collaboration, especially where life insurance agent is concerned,
Mm.
can be beneficial to the client.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's not one person that's, handling your case. It's multiple people. We have multiple brains on one case usually, and that's the beauty of it. Recently my brother, I signed my brother up, and he's healthy, 24-year-old male. He works out, eats healthy, eats clean, doesn't do anything but work out and eat clean. And they quoted him at a standard, underwriting. One of my team members stepped in and was like, "Hey, that doesn't sound right." So he helped me out. We reached out and we fought to have the case rewritten. And now he went from a standard to an elite. I'm not sure if everybody knows what that is, but we know elite means high. So he's a higher rating now, which is really great. So that just goes to show you we work as a team.
Absolutely. It sounds as though health plays not only a role in your retirement, but in life insurance. In regards to your health, can it be too late ever to get a policy?
I think that you don't know unless you try. So it may or may not be too late, but I would err on the side of caution and apply, because it may not be too late. And you may just be waiting because you think it's too late, and it's not. So I would err on the side of caution and apply anyways, even if you think it's too late.
From what you've seen in your field and your time with life insurance, what do you think people assume is going to be easy isn't?
I think convincing people that they need life insurance is very difficult. And it's something that you don't think would be difficult because we all are going to meet our maker. But people feel like they have time. And I think that when you think you have more time than you do, it's going to be too late for you. And we don't want to wait. You want to dive into it as soon as possible. But I think that's the hardest part, is convincing people that they need life insurance for them and for their kids. Because I think a lot of parents don't want to get life insurance, and some think it's like maybe putting some type of curse on their child because they're preparing for that. As a parent, I know that. I felt that. I totally agree with that. And when you stop thinking about it as preparing for their death and instead preparing for their future, then changes the narrative. I don't mean to imply that, your child is going to die anytime soon. That's not what the life insurance is for. The life insurance is for so your children can live a long life. And when they pass away, that their children will get a death benefit, not you, that you're not getting a death benefit for your child. And that's a little bit tricky to convince parents of that, because we automatically think, I don't want to insure my child because I don't want my child to die. But they're not. You insure them so that they can have a long, wonderful life. And in the middle of it, when they want to get married, you can shoot them some change. When they want to buy a house, you have a little something to give them.
So what you're saying is that life insurance essentially doesn't just apply when you died?
No. Mm-mm. Nope. If you purchase a policy on your child now, you think about it, the premium is going to be very low. And eventually, your child is going to take over that premium, and it's going to be affordable for them. So in the meantime, they're going to be continuing that policy all the way up until retirement. So they have between when you started all the way up until retirement to build cash and build interest. So they're building and they're building and they're building. And then one day they'll have $1 million from it being built without them even knowing. Or one day they'll have $50,000 and they can use it for a house. They can use it for a rainy day if they ever need it. But you started that for them. And it will never just be for the death benefit. It will always have been for their future, so that they're fully secure. And you're protecting your children in this way, and you're protecting your grandchildren, and you're protecting, your legacy and their lives. So it's never just for the death benefit.
So what I'm starting to learn about life insurance, especially from a retirement perspective, There are different types of policies that can and can't affect your retirement. How do you know which policy type benefits individuals the most?
Every case is different. Every individual has a different story, and then what's important to everyone is different. So I would look at what their current situation is, and then what's the most important to them, and then build from there. We don't know exactly what type of policy is beneficial to you until we take a look at what you already have. And it's great if you have something and we can just build on it. For example, if you have a $50,000 policy through your job, that's amazing. I think that's fantastic, and that will definitely benefit you. But what happens if you lose that job? So then that money that you put into it is gone, and that policy is gone. So having a backup, a small term policy, another 50,000 term policy that you're paying, or a $100,000 policy that you're paying, $20 for, why not have it? Just as backup, as a precautionary, right? And get it while you're young. So you wait, it might be more expensive later, or you might have waited too long and, God forbid something happens, but you want to start that conversation of kind of double preparing in whatever situation you're in.
So I am curious. We know that life insurance is for everyone, and essentially everyone would benefit from a policy,
Absolutely.
and that it can help contribute to your retirement and your family's future and well being. But the question now is, can I really afford it?
Hmm. Well, can you afford a cup of coffee once a week?
Maybe twice a week,
Mhm.
maybe 7 times.
Yeah.
Okay, 8.
I think if you can afford a cup of coffee, you can afford life insurance. We're, I wrote a policy for my brother-in-law, and he's 29 years old, and it's a $20 policy, $22 to be exact, $22 policy, $100,000, and he can afford that. If my 29-year-old brother-in-law, who is barely starting out his life, can afford it, I think anybody can afford it. And a $5 coffee at Starbucks, once a week is essentially a one life insurance policy. Like, I think anybody can afford it.
I ask 3 questions of everyone I come in contact with. The first question being, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the word retirement?
Mm. Pina coladas.
That's fair.
I think of paying off your house. I think of enjoying my time with my husband. I think of a stress-free life. I think of my money accumulating without my knowledge. I think of setting myself up for success. I think of setting my family up for success. I think of not ever having to worry about what I'm leaving behind because everything is in place.
I'm just thinking of pina colada now.
I feel the breeze.
All right, second question. At what age do you think someone should retire?
I think that is dependent on the person, because for me, retirement looks like as early as possible. But for some people, it doesn't look like that. Some people want to work until the last moment. And it's because they find joy in their work. They love to work and they don't know what to do with their time. Gardening is not enough. And so, they want to get out there and bust their butt till the day they die. And then some people don't. Some people want to retire early and enjoy the rest of their life. The little time that they may have, or the, long life that they will have, they want to enjoy it. Every person has a different time, but regardless, they should prepare for that time.
Completely agreed. And then the last, what are you doing currently to ensure that whatever retirement looks like for you, that dream becomes a reality one day?
Well, in this field, you're kind of forced to enroll yourself in these policies, but not just because you want to tell people what it's like to have these policies, but also because you want to give advice from the perspective of someone who already has something going on. For myself, I have two policies. I have one term and I have one whole life, and then eventually I will get one IUL. Actually, because of this career path that I've chosen, I was able to get my husband a policy. So when he lost his job, he lost all his benefits, and we have we had 63 days to convert from a group policy to an individual policy. So for anyone who loses their job, you still have time to convert your benefits into individual benefits. So we were able to do that just because I learned that through this career, this endeavor. Through this journey, I learned that, and my husband is a type 1 diabetic. So we would not have been able to get any type of insurance at all. And the only reason he has insurance is because I learned that you could convert an individual group to an individual. So that's really important for anyone who feels like I'm losing all of my benefits. You do have time.
So in regards to that, I feel like that's a really important topic to bring to light for our viewers with Generation Retirement, in that I remember being put forth in an HR meeting with a line of 7 people out the door, essentially being told, pick your retirement plan, having a large binder pushed in front of me, nice and thick, and just no guidance, no nothing.
Yeah.
Put my finger on something that I liked the colors on the page. That's how I determined my retirement. That's not enough support. So reaching out to a financial advisor is beneficial for anyone and everyone. And understanding that your husband being a type 1 diabetic, the world is filled with diabetics. And unfortunately, they have a very difficult time, if any, in obtaining insurance. But understanding those little bits about how you can continue with that specific coverage, but you have a very small time frame, a window in order to do it. It sounds as though life insurance, financial advisors, advice on how to go about your retirement is beneficial at any stage.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I would agree 100% with that. It will never be too late for you to look into speaking to someone, and even if it's just to help you understand your current situation. So if you were thrown into, whatever retirement plan you were thrown into without knowing, why not reach out to someone and say, hey, this is what I have. I really am not familiar with it. Would you let me know what the benefits are? What are the pros and the cons? Is there anything that I can do to get out of it? Is there anything that's more beneficial for me? Why not reach out to someone and just ask those questions? And then if you get some answers that you like, great. If not, you're still in the same position. So what do you have to lose?
It sounds like it couldn't hurt, especially when considering your future and the future of your family.
Right. And it's not something that you want to gamble with. Yeah.
When you think about retirement for yourself and for your family, not just as a stage of life, but as an actual success, what does that look like?
I think I will feel most successful in my children. I think that looking at their futures and knowing that I set them up for success is going to be my success, and that they will never have to worry about having any type of financial burden, and that when I pass away, they will be accumulating wealth instead of being buried in debt. And that would be a huge success for me. Retirement looks like the comfort of knowing that I did my job as a parent, I did my job as a wife, and I did my job as an agent, and I helped who I could help and who wanted help. You can't help anyone who doesn't want to be helped. So when I get to retirement, I'll feel accomplished. And it looks like feeling pride in what I've done and what I've accomplished.
Absolutely could not agree more. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. This is fun.
This is what we're doing at Generation Retirement, having real conversations and sharing perspectives. that help people think a little bit differently about what's ahead. Thank you for being a part of the conversation.